and you know,
stuck
in the top of your head. I felt this extreme hot pierce. And I felt my body crumble. It just, you know, because I was dead, flatlined from that gunshot wound right on the concrete sidewalk. I remember feeling the cold of the sidewalk, and I instantaneously was transported to this place that I believe was hell, without a doubt. Pure black, cold, contained in some type of cell, void of anything good. All I was sensing was hopelessness, rage, anything you could imagine that's anti-good, anti-God. It was all the opposites. So I'm in this cell, and I look out before me, and I can see a massiveness of a cavern. As far as I can possibly see, stalactites hanging from the ceilings, stalagmites coming up from the various shelf levels in this area. My arms were outstretched, shackled at the wrists, you know, like that.
Yeah.
And I was shackled at the ankles. Chains looked like chains like you can just imagine. Very old, very big, and there was nothing I could do to get myself out of there. Off in the far distance, I started to see what was like, the best I can describe is as like a lava flow, some type of molten red liquid, for lack of a better word, like lava, was coming out of the upward, and it would just come in this area, and it would just carve out this path as it flowed in. Brown and gray and black smoke was billowing up from this stuff, so it was hot. And it was horrifying because it would just come at me, okay? I was hung at just before, it was like a precipice. I was hung at like a shelf, like I had mentioned, there was different shelf levels in there. Before me was a shelf. And this lava was flowing at me, and every moment that the lava would flow over the edge, little globulets of this stuff would just keep on coming at me because of the sheer velocity of the flow. I was in bodily form, but naked, and these globulets would hit me from like the knees down on the left leg and the right leg, and I could see them burn little holes through my very flesh.
Oh my!
And I could see right straight to my bones.
Did you feel it?
I felt it, and I could smell my very flesh burn.
Oh my!
And the eternity of this whole nature is that I'm outside of time now, because this is hell. You know, heaven and hell, they don't operate in our timetable.
That's right.
So this, to me, is an eternal nature, and therefore the torment is an eternal nature. When my flesh would burn off, it would reform. Burn off, reform. Burn off, reform. Burn off, reform.
Wow!
So it was continual torment.
And that's what some will go through eternally.
Right.
Yes.
Continuously.
Continuously until that day for the final judgment comes.
That's right.
Out of the blackness that I mentioned, I would see these pairs of eyes come at me. And the Lord told me, he didn't tell me then, he told me later on, that what that was each was a demonic entity. They traveled in pairs, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Jesus sent them out to.
That's
Everything is counterfeit.
Yeah, it's just a mockery.
Stretched out. Who was stretched out? Jesus stretched out. These demonic beings who I could see these talons on like these club-like hands, and I could see these
Teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Gnashing kind of like teeth. And I could see flesh and bones in their teeth. These demonic entities had different heights of horns on tops of their head. And the Lord told me that the higher the horn
Yeah.
denoted their satanic authority
Yeah.
in his realm. They would come around behind me. And to this day, I don't know this answer, but they'd always come around my right,
Yeah. Yeah.
not to my left. They'd always
Yeah.
come around my right side,
Authority. Yeah.
which is maybe, yeah. And they'd come around my back, and then I would feel the very flesh being peeled off my back
it's not
or eaten off. I don't know which. Again, like the scourging on the back of Jesus
Yeah.
that he took for all of our sins,
Yeah.
these things were doing that to me. They hated me.
Yeah.
Did they say anything?
No,
But you could
they didn't say anything, but I heard I want to say thousands, millions, I don't know the number. I heard such horrific screams, agony, and it seemed to rise up right out of that lava substance. It seemed to like rise up right
smoke.
in the smoke, just like our prayers rise up.
That's incense before the Lord.
Uh-huh. And they were guttural sounding, some were high-pitched screams, just terrifying.
Did the screams sound like it was people screaming?
They were definitely people
Right.
screaming. There was definitely lost.
Tormented.
There were definitely people screams.
Yeah.
But you saw none of them.
I didn't see any of them.
Yeah.
No, I was alone.
Yeah.
There's no party in hell.
Yeah, we
I
have
was-
a banner that says, the party is here. You're the main attraction.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that we hang at the back of. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
So-
definitely the
so
main
these
attraction.
Muslims not going to find their 70 virgins, are they?
No,
No, not at
no.
all.
You'd be alone,
Yeah.
alone. And then you.
And how did the demons make you feel?
Oh yes, they. They. What was wild is it was continual condemnation, judgment. They read everything. They knew everything about me. They knew everything I did that wasn't right in the past. They knew everything I did as a kid, as a young man. They judged all of that.
So they brought all of your past before you.
Yes,
Constantly.
constantly,
And they hated you.
but not anything.
Good.
Yeah, there was nothing good.
Only the things that you do when you sin, like pornography as a kid growing up. Those are the things that came back.
Yeah.
Now, did they speak these things, or did they bring a picture
They
before you?
just. That's an interesting question.
Yeah,
Did they bring
yeah.
a picture? No, it was just
You knew what they knew.
I'd imagine
knowing
Yeah.
inside of
Oh,
me.
like you saw, you were seeing.
What you had did, they permanently etched. They bring
Right.
it up.
They
and it's
bring
like
it
a
back
flash
out.
and you see
tormenting
it.
your mind.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
tormenting my mind.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Did you remember? Did
Exactly.
you remember you were married, or do you remember anything?
No, there's no. There was no memories of past accomplishments. I had no idea I had a wife. No idea I had
No
a
good-
loved one. Nothing. No, I didn't remember family. Nothing good. No past accomplishments. No hope for a future,
Yeah.
because that was it.
Well, that's the hopeless of it all.
Uh-huh. Right.
Then what happened? How,
Yeah,
you
there's
don't, you
something
don't have
good
any idea
comes.
of
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. There's now good does come.
Yeah, I know. But the main thing is here. What I'm trying to dig out a little bit, Matthew. It's people need to know
Yeah.
what some of this place looked like, what you felt
Yeah.
from the torment, from
Yeah.
the burning of the flesh. And see,
Yeah.
some people just think, well, that guy's had too much to drink.
Yeah.
No, you didn't go through that. You went through. You were dead.
Dead.
And you went there.
Dead.
Now, you don't know how long you stayed there, do you?
The best we can figure is that it was about a day,
Okay.
just shy of a day, in our natural time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
right.
because there is no time there.
No.
Yeah.
No, because after about a day is when, thank God, my wife was touched by the Lord, and I'll let her tell that,
Okay.
Yeah.
and
yeah.
if you want.
Right. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, now you've been in here for a day, and you're into this torment, and it's constant.
Constant.
You get no relief. You don't
No
have
relief.
nobody to stick the cool
Nope.
water on your tongue.
Nope.
No, so you're really in torment. You're in the holding ground.
Yes.
The place,
Yeah.
like in Acts 16.
Yes.
The guy, Lazarus had been
Yeah.
Abraham's bosom.
Yeah.
But the rich man was across that lava flow,
Yes.
Right.
and he was
Yes.
on the other side being
Right.
tormented like you were.